Alright guys, today we're going to be comparing the Galaxy A21s to the A31. I do have some more comparisons coming that you guys asked. If I have a phone that you guys want to see compared to the A31, please let me know. I want to go ahead and get them all done this week. So let's get started here with the pricing. So this is probably one of the most interesting things. Samsung's pricing on their budget phones have been really weird this year. So the A21s is going for $205 right now. Links will be down below. And the A31 is going for 224, which is to me a much better phone. But I guess the A21s does have like maybe one benefit over the A31. But yeah, it's only like, what, 20 bucks. You're gonna pay 20 bucks more for this phone, so it's just kind of strange because of the difference in specs that you're going to see. So starting off with the hardware with both of these phones, as you can see, two plastic phones, and they pretty much have the same design. As you can see, the same camera module, the same sort of psychedelic color designs that you can choose from. They both have really nice designs. They also have pretty much the same weight, since they both have 5,000 milliamp batteries. They both kind of have a nice weight to it, not super heavy, but definitely not a light phone. Now there is a difference when you come to the front of the phone. As you can see, you have the wider drop notch versus the punch hole, and I definitely think the punch hole looks a bit more immersive, and I just think it looks better than the wider drop notch. So I do like the A21s design, especially on the front, a little bit more. I just think it looks better. But as far as display quality, that is a completely different story here. So you have on the A31 a Super AMOLED display. It's a 6.4 inch display, 1080p, 411 for the PPI. And on the A21s, you have a TFT display. It's a 6.5 inch display, so it's slightly bigger, but it's a 720p display, 720p plus, 270 for the PPI. Does not compare to this Super AMOLED display. Colors look washed. The PPI isn't as high, so it's just not as sharp as a display. So it's just a much better display on the A31s, and I feel like Samsung could have, easily put a 720p AMOLED display on the A21s, but they did not, and it's a big difference. But like I said, if you just really like that punch hole, I think you might like the A21s a bit more. But as far as the quality, color, everything just looks so much better on the A31, and like I said, it's a higher resolution, so watching content and stuff is just going to be a more enjoyable experience to me. Now both these phones are running Android 10 with One UI 2.0. They are not the same though. The A21s has a stripped back version of One UI 2.0, which means there's no news feed on the left hand side. There's also no secure folders or Samsung Edge. Basically it's missing a lot of features that you just have on the normal One UI 2.0. So please do know that. So if you just want a really feature packed phone, then you're gonna go with the A31. So that is another big advantage. So if you're a Samsung fan, software is a big reason why you buy these phones. You're gonna be missing out here. So you have the Helio P65 on the A31 versus the Exynos 850, the Mali G52 GPU on both of these guys. So they're both like a low-end mid-tier chip, and you will get better performance obviously on the A31. I just noticed when navigating that you're not going to have as many animation lags on the A31 as with the A21s. Not saying that the A21s is super laggy. It's definitely not, but it's definitely not as smooth as the A31. And for gaming, gaming is about the same. I play Call of Duty Mobile on both of these phones, and honestly you'll be able to play on medium settings with high frame rates, so not super impressive for gaming, but it gets a job done. And like I said, the experience with the display is gonna look much better on the A31. Now both these phones support micro SD support, which is great. You get 64 gigs of internal storage on the A31, 4 gigs of RAM, and you get 32 gigs of internal storage on the A21s, and 3 gigs of RAM. So as you can see, you have a slight spec advantage right there as well. They both have the headphone jack, of course. They both have NFC, which is really great. The fingerprint scanner situation is interesting. So you have a physical one on the A21s, and it's very fast. It's definitely faster than the in-display one on the A31, but I do like the in-display one more because I just think it looks cooler, honestly. But overall, you know, they're both great. They both work 100% of the time if you do it right. Now, these both have quad camera setups. On the A31, you have a 48 megapixel wide, 8 megapixel ultra wide, 5 megapixel depth sensor, 5 megapixel macro camera, and it shoots in 1080p. You have 20 megapixel camera that shoots in 1080p as well. So these phones, both of these phones don't shoot in 4K, which is really strange. On the A21s, you have 48 megapixel wide, 8 megapixel ultra wide, 2 megapixel macro, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. Shoots in 1080p, 13 megapixel selfie camera. So both of these phones take pretty good pictures. The A31 definitely beats the A21s here. As you can see, I'm going to show you these stills. And yeah, it's just a big difference in terms of dynamic range, color, and really just detail to photos. It is a big difference. So if you're deciding between both of these phones, the cameras are really the biggest difference to me. You just have a much better camera on the A31s, especially since the price is so close. It's definitely worth picking up over the A21s. So the battery situation on here, they both have 5,000 milliamp batteries. Now, you should get better battery life on the A21s from what I'm seeing because you don't have that 1080p display. You have that 720p display, but I haven't drained the batteries yet because I know for a fact that you're going to get over 10 hours of screen on time on both of these phones. But I'm pretty sure from what I've seen online that you're going to get better battery life on the A21s. Again, I would like to drain these phones, you know, so I can see for myself. But battery life is going to be excellent on both of these phones. You really can't go wrong if you want a phone that's going to last, you know, for several days, depending on what type of user you are. So two excellent phones, but I would definitely go with the A31 at this price point. It just beats the A21s in every category, and it's about the same price. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.